Hi, in this video I want to show you how works activation. Just options here, how to deactivate objects and how to activate them later. So let's start this simple setup. Bunch of fragments here. I'm going to add them in impact list because you can deactivate and activate later only impact objects in this list. So I'll add them here. Now here the two ways you can deactivate static objects. This is dynamic objects which do not have any keys, they do not animated, and you can deactivate animated objects. I'll start with static deactivation, this one. Okay, as you can see, there are three ways to activate them later. First one is by force, second by gravity, and third is by mouse cursor. Let's take a look how to activate them first with geometry. So after you deactivated all static objects, as you can see without this checkbox, if I will start simulation, they will just fall down. As any dynamic object, they just start falling down. Okay, so when this checkbox is on, it turns all dynamic, not animated objects into static objects. So something may fall on them, but they will not react anyhow. And so if I will start simulation right now, just nothing will happen. They just will stay in air. So physics do not simulate them. And now I will choose activate by geometry here, this checkbox, and I'm going to use this box as activation geometry. To use any geometry as activation geometry, you have to add this object into this helper list here. So now this box is activation geometry, so whenever it will interact with any of deactivated dynamic object, it will activate them and turn into a fully dynamic object, and they will start falling down. So here's the animation of this activation box, just going through these fragments. And if I will start animation now, I will get this. As you can see, whenever the object moves, all fragments start falling down. And if all others stay static. So as you can see, these fragments, they are activated, but they can't fall because this object still, the side fragment still holding them. Oh, it seems I forgot to add some ground object. This box, big one. Okay, now I want to show you how to use activation by force. This one, this checkbox, I will turn off this activate by geometry and hide this box. Now I will hide this wind. Again, simple animation, it's just going near this fragment's edge, and I'm going to activate only these fragments on the edge here. So this sphere is, as you can see, very low negative strength, just a little bit to push all fragments to the sphere, to this wind position. And again, I have to add this helper in this helpers list here. And now I can start simulation again. And again, whenever this wind affects on object, they turn to active dynamic object and start falling down. As you can see, it depends on this wind range. So if I will say increase this range, I will start activating more fragments. And why you should use this low value, because if you will set it higher, like -1, it will just blows all fragments away from their original position. So in my case I just want to activate them using this wind. So that's why you should use very low values, like -1. It will be enough. Another way to use forces to activate is using bombs. Here's my bomb, RayFire bomb. So I will position it under this object here. Now I want again I have to add this in this helpers list. Now I will activate show bombs range, and here I can see how many fragments it will affect. So I'll put it here, just a little range, about 1 meter. So I want this bomb explode at frame 20. Also I want to position some more bombs, one here, let's say 3 more bombs, and this one I want to explode at frame 25, this at frame 30, and this one at frame 35. And I will have to add them in this list. Okay, show bombs off, show bombs range again on. Okay, so bombs in the list, deactivated static is on, activate by force on. Now I can start simulation. And at frame 20, this is first bomb, second, and also other. So as you can see, they do not explode too much, so maybe I have to put them upper, like this one, and try again. Oh, that's much better. And as you can see, they explode only the fragments in the range, but all other fragments stay intact and behaves like they are static object. As you can see, all these activated fragments, they are falling to deactivated and just collide with them. Okay, we'll restart preview. And now I want to show you the last way to activate object. It's called activate by mouse here. So I can clear all these helpers, and I will hide these bombs. So this property uses pixels as so this spinner defined pixels, the radius. When it's 0 it's off, and I will set here like 20 pixels around the cursor. Now I can just simply start simulation, and whenever I will hold shift key, I will activate all fragments underneath my mouse cursor. So you just can just hover over fragments, your cursor, and whenever it comes, it just activates fragments, in case you have shift key pressed. So you can find where you want to activate, hold shift key, and the object starts falling down. Sometimes you just need to quickly create something falling exactly where you want and where you want. And this property defines the radius around the cursor, so you can make it very tiny or very big. Okay, let's tab it. So I described how works deactivated static dynamic objects. Now I want to show you how to deactivate animated objects and how to activate them later, and why you should use this. I will hide this one, okay, and then hide all. Here's my another setup. So I have here this tiny flying teapot. As you can see, it already has animation. Very simple. Just going through these boxes. Nothing special. So what I'm going to use is to deactivate this animated object, use its animation during simulation, and then at some point I want to turn it into dynamic and just let it to fall down. So here I should deactivate animated dynamic object here. So and these boxes I want to put into a sleeping list. Actually, I can use them in dynamic list, but I prefer to put them into sleeping, so they will not fall until something will collide with them. And this teapot will go to dynamic list. Okay, if I will start simulation right now, this is what I will get. This teapot will just push all these boxes from its way, and this is how it ends simulation. It just uses its animation. Nothing special. Okay, now I want to use this box as activation geometry. I will put it somewhere here, let's say in the middle, and I will add it in this helpers list, and I will activate here activate by geometry checkbox. So again, I will activate this deactivated animated dynamic objects using this geometry. So now I will start simulation, and as you can see, this teapot, it still uses its animation, but when it collides this box, it just activates and fell down. So in this way I can, let's say if I want to use more of original animation, I can move box, let's say here, and start simulation again. And again, this deactivated impact object, it will use animation, will throw everything, but only until it will collide with this activation geometry. And I can put it even here, let's say. And now it fall down and rolling. In the same way, you can use forces to activate any deactivated animated dynamic object, and the easiest way is to activate again with using your mouse cursor. In this case, you don't need any geometry or any helpers in this list. You just start simulation, and whenever you like, you just hold Shift key and hop, and it starts falling down. It activates. The easiest way, just watching your simulation. If you think it's time to start this to activate this object, you just hold Shift key and it fall down. And again, don't forget that you can use demolition. So I will activate it, and as you can see, I have here this teapot as aluminium, so it will not be demolished. And I have the sleeping object as porous rock. So I will start animation again, and in this case I want to activate this teapot later using shift pressed button with activate mouse feature on, just because it's more than 0. So I will start bake animation. Okay, as you can see, it start crushing all these boxes on its way. Crushing all them on its way. And now activated. It start fall down. Let's take a look how it ends. Okay, it's finished. So this is what I have here now. As you can see, I used original animation of this object, and then at the end I turned this teapot into a fully dynamic object, and it fell down. Also, I will delete this pass, and don't forget that you can deactivate any dynamic object using custom properties allowed. So in this case you don't have to turn this checkbox here. So all your dynamic object in this list will be dynamic at the start, and you can separately deactivate only chosen fragments, chosen objects using this custom properties allowed. In this case you have to select object which you want to deactivate, check on use custom properties here, and then check on this checkbox deactivated dynamic object. So in this case, even though all these two checkboxes are turned off, this object still will be deactivated. This object should be in dynamic list. This is the only requirement. And I will activate using mouse, and it's falling down. Okay, thank you for watching.